Brethren lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal have made a second bid for Mukhaylo Mudryk. Shakhtar have received it and they're now contemplating on whether to continue negotiations or actually accept the deal. We're going to be diving into that. Fabrizio Romano confirming that in the last few seconds. We're going to be diving into what Ben Jacobs has said. The figure is significantly below what Shakhtar won. But we're going to be diving into all that in this video. You're going to know my opinion, you're going to know my take, what I think about this deal, what I think about this offer, and why I think maybe Shakhtar have just got themselves played in this deal. Hit the like button. Let's get this one to 500 likes. Subscribe to the podcast. We're very close to 62,000 subscribers and we need to get that YouTube play button right this year. Now, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Arsenal made a second offer for Shakhtar Donetsk's Mukhaylo Mudryk. As you can see on your screen, it says Arsenal have improved their offer to sign Mukhaylo Mudryk. That has been confirmed. As talks are on after 40 million euros plus 20 million euros bid was rejected. It's up to Shakhtar now, as was reported earlier on. Chelsea also interested in Mudryk in case Arsenal deal collapses. AFC remain the priority as things stand. That is according to Fabrizio Romano. Arsenal, we can confirm they have made a second offer for the player. As things stand, they remain priority and Chelsea are only waiting to move in if the deal collapses. Now, this is according to Ben Jacobs, again another journalist that I really like so much when it comes to reporting about the transfer window, working with the Football Terrace much of the time this year. He said Arsenal have now made a second bid for Mukhaylo Mudryk. Told the package remains under 70 million euros. AFC optimistic a deal will get done and for far less than the 100 million euros Shakhtar are publicly quoting. Key to the success is the structure of the deal. Shakhtar want around 55 million up front. Interesting. Those are two interesting quotes, two interesting lines that I think we should focus on in this video. And I think this deal will get done. To be honest, I don't see how Shakhtar turned down two massive bids, because the first one, I thought Arsenal played themselves very poorly there. But I think it's a genius move, right? Because the first one must have been a difficult decision to turn it down by Shakhtar. And that is why we've had negotiations about the structure and a lot of talk about how much money are we going to pay, how much money are we going to pay in what period of time, with Shakhtar saying they're very open to Arsenal paying all this amount of money across a longer period of time. So let's first focus on Fabrizio Romano's tweets, which is actually the main reason why we are here. He says Arsenal made a second offer. It is now up to Shakhtar whether to accept or continue negotiation. So there is a feeling of optimism around the people in this deal, that Shakhtar will not turn down the second offer. I think during negotiations, I think Arsenal have seen it that these guys are publicly quoting 100 million euros. I mean, there's no problem with fantasizing about such huge amounts of money. But if you want to sell a player, and if you are really serious about selling Mukhaylo Mudryk, he's not 80 million euros, he's not 90 million euros, he's not 100 million euros. Look, I'll be okay if we part with 80 million euros. I'll be okay with that. But is he really at that at that stage? I don't think he is. If Gabriel Jesus is 40 million euros, if Alexander Zinchenko is 35 million pounds, I don't think, with the experience they bring, with everything they've actually carried from Pep Guardiola's Arsenal to Mikel Arteta's room, I don't think Mukhaylo Mudryk then goes for double of what we paid for of these boys. Like, we can't pay 80 million. Yet we paid less than 80 million for Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko. It's just disrespectful in my opinion. We can't do that. So the second offer is in, and that shows how quickly Mikel Arteta wants this deal to be done. We've always talked about the fact that he's told this board, I want him as quickly as possible. But this signifies how quickly he wants him. An official offer before January, and a second official offer after January. He wants the deal to get over the line. And I think this is Arsenal trying to tell Shakhtar that we don't have a lot of time. You either accept the money we are giving you because that is the real value for your man, or we are actually walking away, or we walk away and then you negotiate with other clubs that have the right amount of money that you actually want. Now, Ben Jacobs, which is the second tweet that we've talked about, is another interesting information source, right? Because it says Arsenal made the second offer. The total package remains under 70 million euros. That's a very, very strong point. And then it says Arsenal optimistic the deal will get done for much less than the 100 million euros Shakhtar are publicly quoting. The key to success in this deal is the structure, because Shakhtar want around 55 million euros up front. Again, that is not realistic still. So supposing we pay 69 or 68 million euros or 68 million pounds, depends on the currency they will agree in. I don't see Arsenal pay 55 million euros up front of 68. Like, it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. I mean, yeah, look, the reason that's why the structure is very, very important is because Shakhtar understand you're not going to get 100 million. You're not going to get 90 million. So if you're going to get 60, maybe, how about getting the bigger portion of that money earlier? Again, there is no problem with Shakhtar wanting that. But is it fair on our side? I think what Arsenal will want is to pay around 40 million euros up front, not guaranteed payments. It can be 60 million euros guaranteed payments, but it should be around 40 million euros up front, 20 million euros in add-ons, and then a few bonuses on top. So I agree with Dean Jones there. It's going to take a lot of negotiation on the structure. It's going to take a lot of talk on the structure of this deal, and they know the better we do it, the better our chances of getting the man. So Arsenal still believe he's under 70 million euros. They don't want to go in. They don't want to go all in with a ridiculous price. We've already been told that Arsenal feel the money they want as Shakhtar is quite ridiculous and unrealistic, and they are not willing to pay that much. So that is what we have at the moment on this deal. I want to get your reactions in the comment box. Do you think it will be accepted? Do you think it will be rejected? And if it is rejected, do we go in for a third time, or do we walk away? Okay, I think that's the big question. Yes, it is significantly still less than what Shakhtar want, but when we go back, do we if we are turned back, do we go in with a third bid, or should we actually walk away? This is my take. I think the bid will not be rejected. Now, okay, this is me hanging in there on my decisions, on my predictions. The first one was massively wrong. I thought Shakhtar were never going to reject it. I thought Shakhtar were going to say, add this amount of money, right? And then the player is yours. But they outrightly rejected it. They said, it's massively below what we want. We are not actually thinking about it. Like, take it back. I never thought they would have the bold balls to actually, look into our faces onto the negotiation table and say, take it back. I never thought that would happen. So this time, I think they will not reject it. I'm going to go for the second time to say the bid will be rejected. The bid will be accepted. First bids are quite kind of tricky when you go in with a first bid. It's kind of a normal rule. It's kind of a norm that when a team makes a first bid, it's rejected. I mean, not all the time. Like Liverpool never do that. Liverpool never do that. They always agree deals. I don't know how they do it, but they always just agree deals. And someone in the comment section told me, Cossy, why are we always talking about deals yet clubs like Liverpool always agree their deals quite early on? And I'm like, how do I answer to that? How do I really respond to that? But I think this one will be accepted, but there will be a lot of negotiations, silent negotiations when it comes to how much money is paid in guaranteed payments, how much money is paid in bonuses, and how much money is paid in up front. What I think, still the structure. What I think is Arsenal will pay around 40 million euros up front, 65 million euros in guaranteed payments and around 5 million euros in bonuses. Okay, the bonuses are if Arsenal win the league, if Arsenal qualify back to the Champions League, if Arsenal reach a certain stage in the UEFA Champions League, if Arsenal win the Europa League, things like that. So I think bonuses will be very, very significantly. Okay, it's not significant low, but they'll be insignificant. The role of add-ons will be actually very, very insignificant. So, if I'm Shakhtar right now, I don't know what they are thinking, but if I'm Shakhtar right now, I know Arsenal have stretched their muscle. And you know this when you go back and look into a club's transfer record and see how much they've been spending and how much they're willing to spend right now. Our record signing is 72 million. That is Nicola Pepe, who was a massive, massive flop. There is no guarantee, and I repeat this, there is no guarantee that he comes in, Mudryk, and he's a success. He's not going to be an instant success, okay? And for me, with all this kind of talk of Shakhtar looking at him as better than Anthony, if we were to do comparisons, Cody Gakpo for the last 2 seasons has actually had a massive impact on football in general. He's redefined the numbers forwards must have at such a simple age, at such a very, very short stage in his career. He's redefined those roles of forwards. He's actually redefined them. And I think if Liverpool get the real Cody Gakpo, if he doesn't break down, if he doesn't fail to work out, we could be looking another. We could be looking at another Salah incident where they get in a forward, plays on the left or off the right, and scores 20, 30 goals per campaign because that boy has the ability. Now they shouldn't look at this guy as Anthony's better or as a better player than Jack Grealish, because there have been far better players with far better numbers, huge numbers, humongous numbers that have actually moved at a slightly cheaper price than what they're looking at what they're looking for in Mukhaylo Mudryk. And I'm not saying he's not worth 60 or 70. He might be worth because he's a really, really big talent, but they should calm down, okay? They should absolutely calm down. So if they are clever, if they are wise, don't turn this speed down. Talk to Arsenal. You know they want him. You know they are desperate. You know that this player is kind of a key to what they're trying to do, to what to their chances of winning the league, their chances of winning going back to the UEFA Champions League. He's a key. So talk to them. If the deal is 25 million euros away from what you're expecting, talk to us. Maybe we could increase it by a few million pounds. But if they turn it down, it is highly likely that Edu will consider them a side that is hard to negotiate with. And we've seen what happens when Edu labels you a side that is hard to negotiate with. It happened with Borussia Dortmund. It happened with Lyon. It happens with a couple of clubs, including Ajax. When Edu looks at you as a club that is trying to raise the price rather than sitting down to agree on a price, he walks away. Right, he walks away. It's happened with Hausamoa. It's happened with Pedro Neto. It's happened with Rafinha. The moment this has happened with Lisandro Martinez, the moment Edu looks at it in a way, okay, they're trying to create a price war. They're trying to attract other clubs to come into this deal, shake it up a little bit, and maybe do this and that. He will walk away. And the one thing Shakhtar don't want is they don't want Arsenal to walk away. We are offering the biggest amount of money right now in January. We are offering the best deal right now in January. And then we are also the destination that the player is looking at. I mean, how sweet is that? A willing buyer, a willing seller, and a willing buyer who the player wants to join. It's simple. It's as simple as that. Get that deal done. Get it over the line. It's as simple as that. But anyway, like Fabrizio always says, and I'm gonna say this right from his dictionary, it's a big money deal. It's going to take some time to complete. Yes, January is one of those months, is one of those winter transfer windows where you are always and always time bad. But it's a big money deal. It's going to take patience. It's going to take time. I've seen a few impatient culprits in my comment section. This is not a club for you to support. Okay, I'm sorry. If you're not patient, Arsenal is not a club for you to support. And I'm going to clip this out. If you're not patient, Arsenal is the wrong club for you. Arsenal is the wrong club for you if you're not patient. You've got to be absolutely patient. Whether it's a transfer window, whether it's winning the title, whether it's doing what, you've got to be absolutely patient. It's been 20 years since we've won a Premier League title. I don't know, it's been how long ever since we've seen Arsenal, be this serious in January. So if you're impatient, if you're rushing, if you're going somewhere, come back, and you'll find us here. You'll definitely find us here. My name is Cossy. Hit for me the like button. Subscribe to the podcast as well. And as always, I'll speak to you in the next one. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Cossy Arsenal on Twitter. Cossy's Arsenal podcast on Instagram. See you soon.